Hi, Julie. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I just wanted to start off with our first session by explaining a few things to you first. Everything we talk about in here is confidential unless you tell me that you're going to hurt yourself or someone else. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I also want to start out by getting to know you a little better. Can you tell me what brought you here today?
Yeah. Well, I had a DCS worker who referred me to your program because
Mhm.
I had a baby that was born addicted to drugs, and they kept her in the hospital for I think about 2 weeks on morphine to try to help
Uh-huh.
her with withdrawals. And then they took her away from me, and I just really want to get her back. Can you help me with that?
Yeah, I definitely think we can help you here. Let me tell you a little bit more about our program. We work with mothers who have substance abuse issues that are pregnant or have an infant. Some of our mothers still have their babies in their custody, and others have gotten their babies taken away and are in a similar situation as you. We have a group meeting once a week, which I assume that you've already gone to one. We also have a case manager that comes to your house and checks up on you and also does routine drug screens. And we also have one on one therapy like what we're doing right now.
So if I fail a drug screen, are you going to send it to my DCS worker?
Yeah, we are obligated to send them to her as proof that you're participating and being compliant or non-compliant with our program.
Well, I guess that makes sense, but is that going to help me get my baby back?
If you're compliant with services and you pass the drug screens, then it will help you get your baby back. However, if you fail one, then we have to report it to your DCS worker, and that could harm your chances of getting her back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now that I've explained what we do here, I want to hear some more about your current situation. You said your baby was born addicted to drugs. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, I guess I've been taking pills for about 3 years now.
Okay, so can you recall any triggers in your life that caused you to start taking the pills?
Just, I mean, I got in a bad car accident and was T-boned by another
Hmm.
car. Broke my leg really bad, and then when I went to the hospital, they put my leg in a cast, and then they gave me pills. And ever since then, I just haven't been able to stop taking them.
That sounds like a pretty traumatic experience.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, at first the pills were just for the pain in my leg, and then after a few months, I just kind of realized I couldn't stop taking them.
Hmm.
And then when I would try to stop taking them for a week or so, it would just make me really sick. So I would just start taking them again, and it'd make me feel better.
So you were experiencing some pretty bad withdrawal symptoms when you would attempt to stop taking the pills?
Yeah, I mean, I'd get really dizzy and throw up, and my head hurt really bad.
Hmm. Did you ever go to the doctor when you experienced those symptoms?
No, no, because I don't have insurance, and so I couldn't find anywhere that would, see me, and then the symptoms would start. And so the easiest, I would just start taking pills, and it made me
Hmm.
feel better.
So have you ever been prescribed methadone or Suboxone before?
I don't think I've ever heard of either of those before.
Okay. They're prescribed by a doctor and they help ease your withdrawal symptoms.
No, I don't think I've ever had that before.
Well, was that something that you're interested in, maybe meeting with a doctor and talking to him about getting
Um,
prescribed something like that?
I'm not really sure because I don't really like taking medication.
Okay. Well, you could still maybe meet with a doctor and just talk to him about it and see what it would be like. It might make it easier for you to get clean and stop the withdrawal symptoms.
Well, I mean, I think I might consider meeting with a doctor if it was going to help me get the baby back. But is the medication like something you have to take for the rest of your life or something?
No, it's not something you take for the rest of your life. The doctor prescribes you a dose, and then every time you go and get more, it will wean you down gradually.
Well, that makes sense, I guess. But I mean, I still don't have insurance, so what am I
Hmm.
supposed to do about that?
Well, here at our facility, we can provide you with insurance. We just need to get you to fill out some forms at the
Oh,
end of the
okay.
session.
Yeah, that would be great. That would help a lot.
Okay, so you said you had your baby girl a month ago. Is that right?
Yeah, it was about a month ago, and then she was in the hospital for 2 weeks on the morphine,
Hmm.
and then they took her from me, and then I just kind of really don't want to talk about that anymore.
So it's difficult for you to discuss your drug use.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hate to talk about it because I can't believe that I would do something like that when I was pregnant, and I just feel awful like about
Hmm.
myself.
So you really have some regrets about using while you're pregnant.
Yeah, I regret it. I mean, I know it's no excuse, but being pregnant was really hard, and the baby's father wasn't helping with anything, and the stress was too much, and so it was just easy to keep using. Made me feel better.
Hmm. So you felt like you weren't really getting the help you needed from him, and you couldn't handle the stress.
Yeah, well, I mean, all my life I've kind of had trouble with stress, and so whenever I get stressed, I just kind of shut down, I guess. I
Hmm.
mean, it's like I don't care about anything, I can't stop crying, I can't sleep, and using the pills just kind of helped me forget about all the stress and everything.
So you had trouble dealing with this stress all your life?
Yeah, I think as long as I can remember.
Can you maybe tell me about a time in the past that you dealt with a stressful situation in a way that didn't involve using drugs?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when I was younger, maybe when I was younger, I used to exercise a lot, and that kind of made me feel better and relieve some stress. And then sometimes I would read books, and it would just kind of get my mind off stuff.
Well, those sound like really good ways to cope with stress.
Yeah, I mean, reading and exercise helped me a lot, but it seems like ever since I got in that wreck, I just couldn't make myself do those things anymore. And then with being pregnant and the boyfriend that doesn't help me do anything, I just don't do it anymore.
Your boyfriend isn't helpful to you at all?
Yeah, I mean, he just really doesn't do anything. Like, we live together, and I can even ask him to do little things like, take out the trash or clean the kitchen or something like that, and he just won't do it. And so all he does is sit around and play video games, and I'm just kind of, stuck with everything, and it makes me really mad.
Talking about your boyfriend makes you pretty upset.
Well, yeah, I mean, it really does. Plus, I want to get the baby back, and I just kind of feel like he doesn't care. And I've told him that I kind of want to get clean, but he won't stop doing what he does and using stuff around me. And then that makes it almost impossible for me to stop because he takes pills in front of me like all the time.
Well, you're right about that. It is very difficult to get clean when you're around people who are still using.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know he's the father of my child, so what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. Well, I can't tell you what to do. You're in charge of the situation, and you need to do what's right for you.
Well, I mean, I know that I shouldn't be with him anymore, especially if he's just going to refuse to help me get clean.
So on one hand, you feel like you should stay with him because he's the father of your child. On the other hand, you feel like staying with him will hinder you in getting clean.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it exactly. I mean, he's just like such a jerk, and I'm really sick of him not being able to help me at all.
Well, I understand that your boyfriend isn't being helpful to you, but can you tell me about some people that are helping you in this situation?
Yeah, I mean, my parents have always, helped me a lot, and they've helped me a lot during all this too.
Tell me more about how they've helped you.
Well, I mean, they've always kind of stood by me no matter what happened, and when DCS came and took my baby from me, they took custody of her.
Well, that's great that you have them to be a support system for you and the baby.
Yeah, but at the same time, I really kind of feel like they're not helping me try to get sober.
Yeah. So what is that all about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess in a way, I kind of think that they like taking care of me, and it seems like they don't really maybe want me to be able to take care of myself and be on my own.
In a way, they're trying to be helpful, but at the same time, you feel like they're enabling you.
Yeah, I guess that's right. I mean, I just feel like they don't really have enough faith in me that I can really get clean.
You feel like they don't take you seriously.
Yeah, I think sometimes they just kind of see me like a joke or something.
Well, you've told me a lot of things that could get in your way during this program, but why don't you tell me some things that could help you get through this?
Well, I mean, the baby, just because, the thought of her not being with me is enough to make me really want to do this. And I have some good friends that don't use drugs, and they're always telling me that I can do this.
Yeah, so you have some really supportive friends.
Yeah, I do. There's some that have been really concerned about me.
Well, that's good. It's important to have a strong support system when you're trying to get clean.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have good support.
Okay. Well, now that I've heard a little bit about what brought you here, can you tell me some about what you're hoping to gain during this program?
Well, I think my biggest goal is obviously like to get my baby back because I don't think I can do that until I can get sober.
So a long-term goal for you is getting custody of your baby back.
Yeah, well, getting clean would be my main goal because I know I can't get her back until I do that first.
Okay, so that's your main long-term goal. Tell me some short-term goals that you have in mind.
No, that's kind of tough. I don't think I've really thought much about that kind of thing. I don't know. What are some short-term goals you think I should have? Like,
well, Julie, you're the one who needs to decide what short-term goals are right for you. I can't really make those choices for you.
Okay, but how long is a short-term goal?
Well, a short-term goal is something you want to see happen within, say, the next 2 or so months.
Okay, well, I suppose I'd kind of like to have a job. I mean, I used to work until I started using, and then I couldn't hold a job. It seemed like more than like a few weeks or so. And I think I'd really like to be more independent, with money and stuff and be able to pay for my own things.
So you want to start working so you can support yourself better?
Yeah, I mean, I think another goal would probably be to move out of the apartment that I live in with my boyfriend, just because I really don't want to be dependent on him anymore either.
So you're pretty serious about being more independent.
Yeah, I really want to kind of prove to my boyfriend and my parents that they're wrong, and that I can become sober, and that I can get my baby back. And I'm just sick of them always acting like I can't do anything without somebody helping me.
Mm-hmm. Everyone is always making you feel inadequate and helpless.
Yeah, in this situation, and I kind of feel like that's the last thing I need. I need them to be supportive.
Mm-hmm. Well, the group we have here provides support to many of the women. Tell me about your first experience in the group. What was it like?
It was really weird because I didn't know anyone, and I've never really talked to anyone about my problems, so I felt really uncomfortable.
So it was awkward and strange for you.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But all the women seemed really nice, and I did like knowing that other people were struggling with the same things that I am, and I guess it helped me realize that I'm not the only one out there with this problem.
Group helped you realize you're not alone in this.
Yeah, and I think that after I kind of got to know everyone in group better, they could maybe really help me. But I still feel very unsure about sharing really personal things in a group. Is that normal? Like,
yeah, that's definitely normal for people just starting out. After some time, it'll become more comfortable for you, though.
Well, I'm just kind of feeling nervous about all that. I just really don't know.
So you kind of feel two different things right now. On one hand, you want to get help, but on the other hand, you feel kind of uneasy and unsure about all this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just the kind of person to kind of keep to myself, and I hardly ever ask for help, but now I feel like I'm forced to get help. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to get help. I guess I just wish I had decided to get it on my own.
So you're feeling like everything that's happening isn't your choice, kind of out of your control.
Yeah, I feel that way exactly. I mean, I want to change, but I'm still afraid of failing.
All right, well, let's try and think back to a time you felt this way before, where you felt out of control. Tell me about a time in the past that you struggled with the fear of failure.
Well, I mean, I guess last time was maybe when I was kind of afraid that I wasn't going to be able to be, a good parent, that I would be just not a good parent. And now that I look at where I am, I'm right where I was afraid that I would be. I just don't know if I can handle another big failure.
So you feel like the situation is hopeless.
Yeah, sometimes I guess I feel like no matter how hard I try, I just can't do it right.
Well, it sounds to me like you don't have a whole lot of faith in yourself. What can we do to help you build up your self-esteem?
I don't really know. I'm just not sure.
Well, what kinds of things make you feel better about yourself?
Well, my friends make me feel better about myself.
Okay, so your friends help you out when you're struggling?
Yeah, it's like I said before. I mean, they have always kind of been supportive, and I just feel really lucky to have them.
So your friends are always there for you?
Yeah, I guess that they can help me feel less hopeless in this situation, and they do a lot. Lately, I just haven't felt like I'm in charge of my life, and it's like everything is out of control, and I can't do anything to stop it.
Yeah, well, that's hard, but the situation is in your control. And I can't tell you what to do, and your parents can't, and your boyfriend can't. Everything that happens from here on out starts with you.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
So you're going to be attending group meetings here with us, but would you also be interested in individual therapy with me, like what we're doing right now?
I mean, I guess I'm kind of shy. I don't know, but I do feel like it might help me.
Okay, well that's definitely something we can help you out with here.
Okay, that'd be great.
Do you have any other questions or concerns about anything?
I don't think there's any I can think of right now.
Okay, well let me give you my phone number in case you think of any questions, and I'll see you next week in grade.